everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on CBS 8 Plus. I'm Heather Myers. Here at CBS 8, we are working for you, getting to the bottom of some of the problems you've asked about, and we're looking for solutions. A new tenant protection ordinance officially took effect in San Diego, and amongst other things, the ordinance requires landlords to pay up to 3 months of a person's rent if they're evicted through no fault of their own. However, some are now wondering what rights the landlords are left with. CBS 8 Shannon Handy talked to an attorney who specializes in landlord rights about how owners can protect themselves before renting out their property.
It looks to me it's damn near impossible to get anybody out of your house.
Last week, we aired a story about a couple in Encanto having trouble evicting a group of people from their rental property following 9 months of unpaid rent.
They are squatters. They haven't paid a nickel.
Yeah, Barbara Gunner says they moved in after her longtime tenant died. She filed an eviction case, but the judge ruled against her twice. It all came down to what the judge called a verbal lease agreement formalized when Gunner accepted initial rent payments from one of the tenants. On her CBS 8 Facebook page, comments in support of Gunner range from "That's California, anti-landlord state" to "Who protects the owners?"
How long until there are ramifications for that?
So I sought answers from Joshua Tucker of Local Realty Law, a firm that specializes in real estate with an emphasis on representing landlords.
In other states like Arizona, it's much easier to remove a tenant.
Tucker acknowledged California has strict tenant protection laws, many of which came about during COVID. He says landlords have rights too, including being able to evict someone for not paying rent. Still, it's crucial for landlords to take extra steps to protect themselves. For starters, always have a written lease agreement. Consider hiring a property management firm to handle the lease or seek the advice of an attorney before writing one. Address rent or other issues as they happen. Don't delay. Make sure the property is up to date with repairs. And if you are trying to evict someone, everything needs to be done by the book.
It appears that there's forms you can fill out or complete and complete your eviction. But in this area of law, if you make even a minor mistake, you have to start all over again. There's no room for any sort of minor errors.
Tucker says he commonly sees eviction cases thrown out or landlords lose in court for this very reason. In addition to filling out forms properly, he says eviction notices have to be served to each tenant, not just one person. But some question, even if everything is done right, why do evictions take so long? Tucker blames a backlog in the court system as well as a lack of resources to deal with it.
The process is not as streamlined as it was.
Shannon Handy, CBS 8.
Cyclists are sharing their frustrations over a new bike lane on Park Boulevard. The city did a major overhaul on Park Boulevard, adding bollards, flex posts, green lanes for cyclists, but they did skip a block. CBS 8's Abby Black is working for you. She shows us why cyclists feel unsafe and finds out if the city plans to make any changes.
The city recently painted these protected bike lanes on Park Boulevard, but cyclists say it offers no protection against cars. We're working for you to find out if the city is going to do more than just add paint to the road.
Behind you.
Adam Deutsch says painted bike lanes like this really grind his gears.
No, it's not safe.
With a parked truck sticking out in the bike lane, Deutsch has to turn his head to make sure it's safe to merge into the car lane.
I don't know who this is designed to serve, except for drivers.
Park Boulevard has gone through a major mobility renovation.
There's a bike lane with some flex posts and green paint right over there. But as soon as you cross El Cajon Boulevard, that goes away.
Between El Cajon and Meade, next to this housing complex that's under construction, there's only a painted bike lane next to a green curb.
Since paint is not protection, cycling on these lanes is stressful because even though there's a visual barrier, it doesn't actually stop somebody in a car who wants to cross that barrier, or who doesn't see that barrier, or who isn't paying attention to that barrier. We're standing in a place where somebody is going to get hurt.
In 2021, cyclist and new father Matthew Keenan was killed in Mission Valley. That same year, a cyclist and a scooter rider were killed on Pershing Drive.
Within a mile of here, at least 3 people were killed when riding their bikes in painted bike lanes.
The chair of San Diego County Bike Coalition, Stephen Vance, says the city plans are outdated. He says there ought to be a way for the city to easily update these agreements to ensure street improvements installed by developers are consistent with the current street design in the area. If the city's bike plan was up to date, this would be less likely to happen. He says the plan was last updated in 2013. A spokesperson for the city's transportation department says the housing project's developer striped the lanes. He says once construction is complete, the city will take over and determine if similar bike lane protections on Park are needed. Cyclists hope the city sees more of an urgency and does more than just paint the street.
They could put a protected bike lane. Paint does not protect people.
Working for you in University Heights, Abby Black, CBS 8.
Well, now to an update on a story that we've been following in Pacific Beach. Traffic calming bollards have been finally installed on Diamond Street after a brief delay. Our Brian White is working for you to find out if they are making the street any safer.
Yeah, I'm on the corner of Diamond and Faneuil Street where the new traffic calming bollards have been installed here, as you can see. Now, if I was in a car, I'd have to make a right-hand turn here, but since I'm on a bike, I can fit through these bollards. And that's how they were designed, so that bikes and skateboards could fit through while cars cannot.
I like them. I mean, I think to slow down the traffic, the east-west traffic in PB is a good thing.
I have no idea why they're doing it. There's nothing that makes sense to me about what they're trying to do here.
Mixed reaction out here from neighbors in PB. Some like what the city's trying to do here.
I'm all for slowing down the streets. We have children playing. We have runners that are running up and down. It's very positive, and I think we need to continue to work through it, but this is a good first start.
While others don't like it one bit.
It's a sore spot. I'm very salty over it. I feel like we were ignored as residents.
These flexible posts are a type of quick build project made with cost-effective materials. They were installed Wednesday after a week-long delay at two intersections, one at Diamond and Faneuil and the other at Cass Street. Cars traveling east-west now have no other option but to make a right turn.
All the people that live in between the barriers, now they gotta take a right, take a left, take another right to get to their house. What are we trying to do here?
But others who live here are okay with taking a different route to get home.
Yeah, I make accommodations to get to my home. It's not that big of a deal, and it's working within the confines of the new traffic pattern, and it's no big deal.
Some who live on side streets like Missouri say the diverted traffic off Diamond is increasing cars on their street.
Of course it's going to increase some traffic there because everybody's going to be diverted, which we're not happy about.
What I'm seeing is chaos. I'm hearing cars going down my alley like never before.
These bollards have certainly been a lightning rod for debate ever since plans were announced to install them, pitting neighbors against neighbors.
I believe that everybody has their opinion. You know, I'm just here for slowing down the streets, and this immediately saves the life of children playing. I'm for it.
Depending on how things go here on Diamond Street, we may see this bollard concept brought to other streets across the city.
Working for you in Pacific Beach, I'm Brian White for CBS 8.
People living in National City say a lack of parking went from bad to worse after an affordable housing complex went up in front of City Hall. So to accommodate city employees who lost their parking spots, the city allowed surrounding streets for them to park. Now people living nearby say they are forced to park far away from home or risk getting a ticket. CBS 8's Abby Black is working for you to show us the problem and how the city has handled it so far.
Here's the problem. When people started moving into this affordable housing complex, they started parking on the street. Well, it's across the street from City Hall, and this is where city employees used to park. So the city then implemented a permitted parking measure here on 12th Street and the surrounding areas during the full business hours, but there was pushback. So then they reduced the hours from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Thursday. One mother says it still has not solved the problem. We're working for you on how this parking issue is being addressed.
This National City family is frustrated with the parking issue around their downtown complex.
The parking spaces are not being enforced in the affordable housing to make it livable.
We called Mayor Ron Morrison down to chat with us and neighbor Yvette Vargas.
It's not a city problem, and it's not even an apartment problem. It's a state problem.
Mayor Morrison's talking about the new state-approved affordable housing complex across the street from City Hall. The mayor says parking requirements do not need city approval. We found under state law, if there's adequate public transit in the area, parking is not required for each unit. In this case, there are 88 parking spaces for 101 units.
We need housing, and I'm pro of doing the affordable housing because we do need it in California. But just going down into the local level, it's going to destroy the communities because people, they need their cars.
The mayor says it's not just this complex causing a parking shortage. He says the state is building more affordable housing in National City, adding 5,000 new units and limited parking. Morrison says that he's shared his concerns with state legislators.
We got one senator from San Francisco. His name is Wiener, and so he makes all these Wiener bills, and It's one after another that is just destroying our neighborhoods, and he just doesn't care.
I called State Senator Scott Wiener's office. A spokesperson says the parking requirements for this project were reduced under the state density bonus program, which he says Senator Wiener did not author or create.
It's mission impossible what local government is being asked to do right now.
Vargas hopes by reaching out to CBS 8, the word will spread and unite neighbors in other cities to fight back.
We don't have enough resources to defend ourselves from the state program, and I think this is just a consequence of the deep root of the problem.
I also reached out to local Assembly member David Alvarez and State Senator Steve Padilla's office for a comment, but I've not heard back. Working for you, Abby Black, CBS 8.
Remember, we are working for you. If there was something that you would like us to look into, email us at workingforyou@cbs8.com. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.